Hi, this is Samantha, and I am so glad that you decided to take action and find out a little bit more about tapping. Now, even if you're just curious, keep watching, because what I'm about to show you has the power to make huge transformations in every area of your life. So what is tapping? Well, tapping is actually based on ancient Chinese medicine. So I'm sure a lot of you have heard of, maybe even tried acupuncture. You know, the one where you go in and they stick all the pins in you and you look like a hedgehog for a little while. Well, tapping is based on very similar principles, but instead of using the pins, thank goodness, they use tapping on these energy meridian points around the body. So tapping started out as TFT. You may have heard it referred to as EFT. And the process I want to show you is a slightly evolved process called Faster EFT. Now, as the name suggests, I have found it and my clients have found it to be quicker, more effective, and it goes so much deeper. So it can make lasting changes that really do transform your whole world. Okay, so when do we use tapping? We use tapping anytime we feel uncomfortable. It could be an emotion, a feeling, a sensation in our body, pain. So common examples might be a headache, or you're just feeling sad, or anxiety before a test, or food cravings. You know, you really want to eat it, but you know you're not hungry. So we just use it anytime we don't feel good. So the system that I teach is my N.O.W. system, N.O.W. Now, I use this N.O.W. system because it helps me to teach it, and it helps my clients to remember exactly what they need to do and when they need to do it. And when's the best time to start making changes in your life? Right now. So let's start with N. Notice how you know you have a problem. So let's say, for example, you want to tap on feeling a little bit angry. Let's use a real life situation. So you're sitting at work and your boss or a colleague has just come over and said something that was just a little bit, and it made you feel angry. So that's noticing that you have a problem. But there's really two steps to this, noticing how you know, because anger feels different to everybody. So you need to notice how you know you feel angry. This is more important than labeling it. So maybe you're seeing red, or you're hearing angry voices, or there's just this burning sensation in your heart. Whatever it is, go inside, get curious. What does anger feel like to you? And then when you've got it, I want you to give it a level. So 0, don't feel angry at all, to 10, oh my God, my head's about to explode. And let me just point out here, the stronger you feel any of these emotions or sensations, the quicker you get to release them. So O is the next step, and O stands for operate. And this is where we get down to the tapping. So with Faster EFT, we have 4 main tapping points, and I'll go through these in a moment. And then you grab your wrist. So to tap, most people take 2 fingers. I use 3, some people use 4, some people use 1, it doesn't matter. You can use both hands, one hand, either hand, crossways, upside down. You can't get this wrong. So let's start here. First point is just by the side of the eyebrow here, where you see the hair stops here, and you just tap. So tap along with me, see if you can feel that. The second point is just by the side of the eye where your laughter lines would be. You can just tap there. And the third point is just where the eye socket starts here, and you just tap under the eye. And then the fourth point is if you just follow your collarbone right down, and you got the little dimples, so the little knobbly bits, and there's a dimple underneath, and you just tap here. Now I like to take my thumb and 2 fingers and just tap like this. I've seen people use their whole hand. You can just tap like that. You make funny noises as you talk. And then finally you just grab your wrist, you take a deep breath in, blow it out, and say peace. Okay, so the really important part about the tapping is that you focus your attention away from knowing that you have the problem to now focusing on the sensations of the tapping. So just think about your fingertips here and then the sensations on your skin. Again, just tap along with me, and if you want to say something as you're tapping, you can just simply say, let it go. Let it go. And you grab your wrist, take a deep breath in, and say peace. So that's step 2, operate. Okay, now for step 3, and this is W, and this is my favourite part. This is wonderful. W stands for wonderful. Go to a really happy, lovely memory, one that lights you up, one that just makes you glow and smile and feel those feelings all over again when you go to it. So as an example, it could be the first time you held a child, or walking on a beach, or a wonderful birthday party, or your first kiss, or walking on top of a mountain. You know, whatever makes you feel really good. Find that memory. Stay there for a moment. Feel those good feelings. And then just take another deep breath and blow it out. And there you have it. That's step 3, W for wonderful. Okay, so what do you do once you've finished? N, notice how you know you have a problem. O, operate, do the tapping. W, go to a wonderful memory. You do it all again. Okay, so you're going back and checking. So when we go back to notice how you know you have the problem, do you remember we gave it a scale? So maybe before it was a 10, it might have gone down to a 6 or 7. So you notice that feeling, you tap, you go to a happy memory. And then you come back again and you notice maybe it's gone down to a 2. You tap and then you go to a wonderful memory. And what you're doing each time is tapping it down to a 0. Because as long as it's still a number, it's still there. You want to tap it down until it's nothing. Take the time, be persistent, and get rid of those emotions that have been controlling you and programming. This is so important. You can do this, but tapping only works if you use it. So go on, give it a try, have some fun. It is time.